Hello everyone and welcome to the Substitute Absence Management Frontline tutorial. Now by this time most of you have logged into your staff Gmail account and have pulled up your email from Frontline, which I have an example here of a sample. This is the sample email that you will receive asking you to create your Frontline account. It will say Farmington Municipal Schools has invited you to absence management. It will have your name and then a link for you to create your account. Once you follow the instructions on creating your account, I would like you to go to the absence management sign-in page. Okay, and this is what it's going to look like there. So you're going to type in the user ID that you choose, and this can be anything. It does not have to be your email address. It can be anything that is easy for you to remember. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and punch in my username for my test account. Okay, so once you log in, it'll take you directly to your dashboard. And I personally feel like the dashboard on absence management is much more user-friendly than other systems that we have used in the past. When you log in, you will always see this view. You will see a 3-month view. Down at the bottom, you'll see available jobs, scheduled jobs, past jobs, and non-work days. Now, non-work days is basically days that you choose as a substitute to put in the system that you are not able to work. That way you don't get phone calls, or when a secretary or a teacher searches for you on that specific day, they'll know that you're not available. Now the first thing that I would like you to do is click on this question mark up here. Okay, after you log in, go here. I want you to click on Frontline Support. It's going to open up another tab in your browser. And this is going to take you to the Frontline Absence Management Learning Center. This is how the staff learned how to use Frontline. This is a very user-friendly system. It has so many different topics, different tutorials, videos, everything that you need to learn how to manage your account. On the front page here, you'll see some quick links for getting started, questions, and then of course, one of the most popular, finding jobs. You can also click over here and you will see all of the different tutorials for managing your account. This part of the system can be accessed at any time, but it is very important that you go in here and at least look around, okay, just so you can become more comfortable, especially when it comes to receiving phone calls. Now on that note, when you receive your first phone call from Frontline, it is going to ask you for your 5-digit PIN number. So I want you to log in, click on Preferences, and then Phone Credentials. This is where you're going to find your phone login ID, which is generally your own phone number, and then your 5-digit PIN. Now the system automatically assigns a 5-digit PIN to each substitute when their account is inputted into the system. However, you can see here that you can create a new 5-digit PIN, no problem, especially if it's you need to change it to something that's a little bit easier to remember, especially when those calls are coming in real quick every morning. So you can utilize this feature to create a new PIN, save your changes, and then you'll be ready to go. Now back on the dashboard, okay, this is always a good place to start, okay, for looking at anything that you may need to know. Available jobs are going to show up here in green, and jobs that you've accepted, are going to show up in blue. You can also click over here on available jobs, and it'll again show you the different preferences. History is very valuable for making sure that you received the proper compensation on your check stub. So say you get your first check stub and you just want to make sure that it matches what you recall as the days that you worked. So you can take your check stub, compare it to the jobs that you have in the system here. Now this feature here called feedback is something that is special to absence management in Frontline. You actually have the opportunity to leave feedback for the teachers that you have subbed for. Now I'm going to ask you to please keep in mind that this feedback needs to be constructive. This needs to be information that you feel like the teacher can utilize to perhaps make things a little bit easier for other substitutes or just for the classroom in general. I would ask that your feedback please not be too negative, and again, it needs to be constructive. On this page here, you can leave feedback for jobs that you've had in the last 14 days that maybe you haven't entered any information on. And then there's also a tab here that says feedback that I left. This can show you everything from the current school year. Now on preferences, let's go ahead and pop back into there. Something else that is very important that you take note of is, of course, your personal information that we inputted into the system is going to be here for you. So this will be your school email address as well as your personal phone number. And then, of course, your name is going to be here. If you would like to turn off the calls coming into your personal number, you can utilize that feature here. Basically, this just means that you will have to go onto the website to look for available jobs. You will not have to rely on phone calls only or phone calls and the web for jobs. Now, schools. This is very important. When we set up your substitute account, we did make it available for multiple locations. You do have the power to change the locations that you would like to sub at. Now, please remember that this does not include locations that you have been blocked from. If you'll recall from our substitute orientation video, we did discuss blocks from schools by principals. Those will not show up as an option for you to choose. However, any other school that you have been cleared to sub at will show up. Now you see two options here. One is show me assignments at the school selected below, and then the other is I don't want to see assignments at the school selected below. So for right now, I have the top bubble checked to show me my available schools. I have the ability to check and uncheck the different locations. Now I would like to note, you will see district departments as well. Exceptional programs, custodial, curriculum, plant operations, transportation, student school and family support. Those are not locations to sub at. They're here on this list because we use the system for leave for all employees, not just teachers and aides. So of course those are going to be listed. So whether they're checked or not, you will never receive offers to sub from these locations. It will only be the schools that are listed. Once you make your selections, you have an opportunity to save those changes, and then of course come back in if you'd like to make any other changes, especially as you become more used to how subbing works. Of course, I would like to note as well that middle school and high school at this time are still not available to sub at unless it's a special education setting. But once we do open up the middle schools and high schools back up for in-person learning, you will want to come in here and make your selections if there are any locations that you do or do not want to sub at the secondary level. Now, anytime you go to a page, of course, like it just showed you, where you need to make some changes or you need to make any kind of preference changes, it is going to ask you for sure if you want to leave without saving. So that's just what that little message meant. I would also, in closing, like to draw your attention to this top section here. Substitutes now have the ability, to download the app for Frontline Absence Management in the Google Store, the Apple Store, and I believe it's also available on Android. You can actually manage your substitute profile, look for jobs, everything that you would do on a computer, you can do on your smartphone now. So I would encourage you to look into adding that to your phone as a more user-friendly and quicker way to be able to look for jobs. That's all I have for you today. If you have any questions, of course, you can reach out to me by email or by phone, and I'd be happy to help you as best that I can. Now, if you have any questions about Frontline Absence Management that I cannot answer, I will also help you to place a ticket with Absence Management. Say, for example, you're having a problem with your specific site, your specific dashboard. I can show you how to put in a help ticket with Frontline. They are very quick to respond and will definitely have you up and going in no time. Thank you again for your attention, and everybody have a great day.